Alright guys and gals, you saw earlier today is Wednesday, the 11th I believe. You saw the chipper, the old chopper, not that one I'm using for bedding. This one the knives are actually worse than the other one. But this one I am planning to chop my bedding with. And if the other chopper goes kaput, this one's going to be the next wood chipper. This chopper I paid $100 for. So, what better to do than repurpose an old chopper into a wood chipper? But that's not what this video is about. Tuesday morning, we woke up to frost. Look at that. A yote print. As one of my kids says, a coyote. Anyways, look at that corn. That frost did the corn in. That is awesome. I was afraid that the frost wasn't going to be hard enough to damage the corn, but it sure looks to me like it did a trick. You can see all those stalks are shriveling up. Even the corn farther back in there, the greener stuff is shriveling up. Probably not quite as fast as the outside, because I'm sure it held more heat in there. You can see my row here that the corn planter missed because it kept lifting the row unit out of the ground. Which, yes, we need to add weight to the corn planter this coming year. But you can even see this stuff is starting to shrivel up. And what I'm really hoping is that is going to kill this husk, or dry this husk up enough that it lets more air, and I can already feel there's a gap. It's not tight to the cob. That's awesome. What I'm hoping is it will allow airflow in there and help this corn dry faster than if they would have just naturally kept going. I was told to use an app on my phone. I believe it was from Two Happy Children Farm. I'm pretty sure he's the one that told me this app to use. I got the app on my phone, and basically in the last week, we have gotten like 5 GDUs. And I researched this corn a little bit more, and it says like 23 or 2,400 GDUs for this corn in particular, and we're at like 2,100 or something like that, and if that, maybe just over 2,000. So going by that, this corn was a long ways away from what it needs to be. You see right there, the deer nipped on the end of it. And that's what happens once the corn gets at a certain maturity. The deer nip this off first, and all of a sudden they realize there's corn in there. Then they start going to town on it. But up until now, the deer have been really good to it. There hasn't been a whole lot of deer damage that I've seen. They have gone around and cleaned up all the corn that I knocked over with the chopper. Because the cut and throw chopper, when you turn the corners, tends to knock over a little bit of corn. And then when I opened up the field, obviously I run over 2 rows of corn. The deer have pretty much got that all cleaned up, but they haven't been doing a lot of damage to the corn standing yet. They've been going around and nipping the ends off, and every once in a while you'll see an ear that they've been working on. But as you can see here, my hand stopped shaking. You can see that is starting to shrivel up. This is, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday, and the frost was Monday night, Tuesday morning. So this is how much the corn has changed in a little over a day. So hopefully this will speed up the harvest process, or speed up the waiting process to harvest. I was kind of contemplating getting a snapper head for the chopper and doing earlage on that field back there. But the problem with that is I would almost have to have that bagger for that. I could make a pile, but there's no way I could keep up with a pile like that. And the problem is, over the winter months, I don't have a whole lot of animals to feed snappage to. It's going to be more during the summer when I'm trying to put weight on calves or steers to finish them out by fall. But as you can see, we are turning yellow finally. Yesterday I pulled a couple ears off that field back there. I didn't make a video on it because everybody's going to get sick of seeing me hand shell corn to test it. And it was at 36%, so we've dropped another percent since last week. If it's not raining tomorrow, which they're talking rain for the next 2 or 3 days, I'm probably going to pull a couple more cobs back there and test again. That corn, I haven't noticed it that it's turning that fast, or that the frost maybe did much to it. Then again, I didn't really pay any attention to it. You can see the chopper is still sitting back there. Maybe if the camera is going to focus, doesn't want to focus, maybe the lens is dirty. I'm going to chip some more brush back there, and then I'm going to build a guard for the front of it. I'm going to build a pan on the bottom that I can put smaller brush on, and then hopefully the bigger pieces will pull it in. I'm going to build a bar coming around, so if I happen to trip or something as I'm walking towards it, I don't fall into those feed rolls. And running it, I'll make another video of me running it once I get those guards put on it. There's a bunch of other stuff coming up, so I'm probably not going to chip brush for a while. And if it is raining, I'm probably going to go out there and grab them, pull them in back in the shop and build that. And I actually think I have a piece of steel already to weld onto it. But I'll make another video once I get that pan on it. Basically, I'm going to weld a pan on it, and if for some reason the chopper goes kaput doing this, I'll just cut the pan back off. But I don't know, I don't think I'm in the video, I think the biggest one I put in there was like 2.5 inch, 3 inch diameter log. I did put an even bigger one in there after I stopped recording just to see if it would do it. I actually put one in there that was 4 inch or a little better. And it chopped it. I mean, I had to stop, you know. I kind of fed it in a couple inches at a time. That is slip clutch protection on there, and I didn't want the cutter head to slow down too much. And I was running the tractor at 11 to 1200 RPM, so it was basically idling. I figured I'd be better off not pushing it, being I'm doing something that's probably not recommended by many. So actually, running it the way I am, that tractor probably runs cheaper than if I were to put a 10 or a 15 horse Briggs & Stratton engine on there and run it wide open. So 4020, if you're just babying him, he just sips fuel. So why have another engine to take care of, right? And why spend $1,800 plus for a wood chipper when I have a chopper that I bought like 5 years ago for 150 bucks, and I used it for a couple of years, and it's not going to chop corn anymore. It would have probably still worked for bedding, because I don't want my bedding chopped fine, but to clean that mess up right away, it's worth that chopper just becoming a wood chipper. So anyways, that's just a little bit of BS about what's going on today. I can see from here that corn is turning, so that frost did that into, which is awesome. Next year I will not be going with a 96-day corn. I already have my corn picked out for next year. I will be going back to an 80-day corn. Roundup ready. It's only Roundup ready. It doesn't have all the traits that this stuff does. That might be an issue, maybe not, I don't know, but I'm going back to a shorter day corn because of what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to push the envelope with having a longer day corn to try and get more grain. I don't think that I'm going to yield any more this year than I did last year, honestly. So to me, it'd be more worth it to have that corn yellow right now and being able to be harvested versus getting an extra 10 bushel the acre off of it. But that's just me. Everybody has their own ideas on that. But to double crop it and be able to get a nice cutting of rye off it for hay before I plant corn or beans, to me seems worth more than an extra 10 bushel of corn. And not to mention having to wait so long to be able to harvest it. So, and honestly, I don't know if it's even going to do a 10 bushel more than it did last year. I actually think it's going to do 20 bushel worse than the 82-day corn I planted last year. So that's where we're sitting with that. Anyways, that's what's going on. I put the cows back out in the pasture today. It's dry enough. They're not rutting it up too bad. So they're out there scrounging, but they're getting enough because I fed them bale hay and they didn't want nothing to do with it. So anyhow, that's just a little update on the corn and talking about my hold my beer idea with a chopper wood chipper deal. So thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you later.